So I'm going to show you guys an example of the earthquake simulator code running. So if we run our code, first thing we see is the menu that tells us all the different shapes we can make. So we can make a vertical line, horizontal line, horizontal line, circle, or a point-to-point line. And all these different shapes and lines, they're all going to get put on our fault map. So the first thing I'll make is a vertical line. So put one, and one is for a vertical line, so I put in one, and now it's asking for the x coordinate location of where I want this vertical line. So, and it's telling me the range right here from 0 to 19. So that means that point 0 is going to be all the way on the left, and point 19 is going to be all the way on the right. So this means our grid is 20 by 20 because it's from 0 to 19. So 20 by 20. So let's enter 2. We can see this got mapped to position 2. So it goes from 0, 1, and then 2. And we can see that the white zeros here, those show just regular ground. And if it's a red 1, like right here, that means our fault line is right there. And we can see also it tells us here printing the fault map. And it printed it as soon as I entered that first shape. So now let's make a horizontal line. So that's number 2. So I entered 2 for horizontal line, and again it tells me the range, but this time it's going to be for y. So I'm just going to put in 2 again, and this time it's on the y. So we go 0, 1, 2, and it's right here. And again, printed as soon as I put it in. That's important because we want the user to be able to see what they're making as they make it, and then when they're satisfied, they can start the simulation. Let's go ahead and make a circle now. That's number 3. And we'll put it right in the middle of this grid. And since it's 0 to 19, the middle is going to be at 9. I'm going to put 9, 9. Little different. The circle is asking us for an x and a y location. So we put in our range separated by a comma and then our next number. And we put in enter. And our circle got mapped right to the middle of our grid there. And we can see the circle is nice and smooth. There's no unconnected points. Every point has the following point and the previous point one position away from it. So that's what we want to see. We don't want to see any gaps. And if you make the radius of the circle a little too small, it ends up looking like a square, or if it's really small, it's just a dot, or it can even look like a star. We don't want that. We want it to be a full, nice round circle, nice and smooth. So we want the radius to be big enough so we can see the entire circle and make sure that it's round. And it looks a little bit like an oval here. That's just because of how we have our grid set up. The spaces between the x values are much greater than the space between the y values. So you can change that if you want in your code, but this is what it looks like. And now let's make a point-to-point line. So I put in 4 for point-to-point line, and it asked me for an xy coordinate just like the circle did, but it says for the start point. So let's go point-to-point line. Let's start from the very edge, 19, 19. And let's go all the way to the middle, which is where our circle was placed, which is 9, 9. So we put that in. And we see our line is right here, all the way across from 1919 to 99. And similar to the circle and like all the other lines, point-to-point line doesn't have any gaps. Each point is connected to the next point, and it's one position away always. So there's no gaps, and it's perfectly smooth, and it's always straight. That's another thing. So if we go to the middle, which is right around, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, around here. So we can see that, oh no, the middle is right here. So we can see that one side is the same as the other side, and it's straight. It's not like curved. It's not going from this point to this point and like curving as it goes there, or going and then at the very end it jumps all the way up. It's going straight from this point to that point. without any curves, just straight shot. So now we can start our simulation. And it looks like it's updating live. It's not really. What it's doing is it's clearing the entire screen and then printing the same thing again, except with updated values, and it's doing that over and over again. And it's pausing every time it does that, so then we can actually see the values changing. And instead of, if we didn't pause, it would just be too fast, and we would blink and it'd be over. So, and then at the very end, an earthquake occurred in 2 different places. So we see right here and right here, it was highlighted so we can see where it happened, and we get our earthquake banner right here. And that's pretty much how this simulation works. It's not super in depth, but it can get a little complicated in some edge cases. So just be careful with that, and good luck.